McLevin says, why isn't Elon Musk trying to launch Starlink in China? If he forces Starlink in India, wouldn't it also be a threat to China? Can we use China as a proxy to fight this war? Okay. I'm sure Elon Musk must have made some kind of proposal in the past to China and requested the Chinese leadership to allow Starlink to operate there as a token gesture, just to put it on the record. Everyone knows China will never allow Starlink to operate in their country. It's a national security threat for China to have foreign internet provider beaming in the internet straight to Chinese homes and Chinese people wherever in China. It's a national security threat. China has this great firewall by which they very strictly and rigorously censor the kind of information that's accessible to its population. And Starlink would completely bypass that. So it's a disastrous danger for China, and China obviously will never allow that because they are a self-respecting sovereign nation, China, right? And the US is their greatest adversary, isn't it? So China won't allow it. Now, I'm not sure if Elon Musk has in the past requested China or not. I expect he would have at some point in time made such a request just to put it on the record that, yeah, I did it in China as well. Now, the point is, so it won't work. It won't work. Now, the point is, what about India? He wants to to offer Starlink in India. Now, we know that price wise, Starlink doesn't make any sense to any Indian. We have some of the cheapest internet in the world, cheapest high speed internet in the world. Okay, we in India, we are actually very fortunate as a nation that we have such high quality internet throughout most of the country at such incredibly cheap rates. Okay, it's not being beamed to us from space, from orbit, but it's your local, the cables and all that. But it works really well. It's really high speed, high quality, and it's incredibly cheap. The price per megabyte or gigabyte, it will be like incredibly low compared to any other nation we can think of. Now, if Starlink starts operating in India, they're gonna provide you limited internet at at a much more expensive rate. So most Indians won't care for it, won't buy it. Some people, like rich people, may buy it just to show off that, look, I've got Starlink. That's it. But here's the deal. And by the way, sorry, here's the deal. What was I saying? Oh, sorry, I'm not Biden. The point is, the point is, there are we have problems in India, right? Every nation has problems. We have problems in India. We have a very large population of foreign infiltrators who's living in India, close to maybe 100 million Bangladeshis, Rohingyas, etc. And these elements can be leveraged by foreign powers to unleash mayhem in India, riots in such situations. Now, let's say you have a hypothetical, fictitious scenario, okay, in which you have a riot in some particular part of India, some city, some town, or whatever. What the government will immediately do is they will shut down temporarily the cellular networks, cell phone networks, and internet in that region. And then they will go out on the street, the police, and they will pacify the situation essentially. And once things go back to normal, in a few days, the cellular network and the internet will be restarted. So that's the kind of action the government takes when there is some kind of disturbance in any part of India. Now imagine you have Starlink, which is beaming internet to all parts of India. In that case, even if the government shuts off the cellular and internet networks in the region, Starlink will keep beaming internet to that region. Of course, the government can tell Starlink, please switch off your signal to this particular region. Starlink may or may not comply. Okay? They may or may not comply. Or they may comply 24 or 48 hours too late. By which time, the anti-national elements, the rioters, will get enough time to do whatever they want to do, despite there being no internet in the region from other sources. It can allow terrorists and separatists like Pakistani in Pakistani terrorists operating in Jammu Kashmir, that region, or Kuki terrorists operating in Manipur, Mizoram, or other terrorists, whoever it is, the Naxalites in other parts of India. It will enable these people to operate with impunity, to communicate with each other despite whatever internet or cellular bans the government may put in place. That's why it's a disaster if you allow Starlink in India. And Elon Musk has gone on the record in the past. Okay, he's an agent of empire, Elon Musk. Uh, Let me go and find that particular tweet, for example. Uh, Elon Musk's tweet. Just give me a minute. I'm going to dig it out very fast as soon as I can. Starlink. There was a controversy on Twitter a few days ago. I was kind of involved in that because I expressed um, the opinion that Starlink is dangerous for India. Just give me a second. Let me pull it out as soon as quickly as I can. Elon Musk's statement. Um, Here you have it. Okay, let me put that on the screen. Okay, so let me put that on the screen. This is what I tweeted on the 17th of October. Today is 20, right? Here we are. So Elon Musk had tweeted this in September 2021. So it's in response to somebody. Okay, uh, so a certain naval intelligence officer, Laila Kohistani, told CNN that she would love it if SpaceX would just flood Afghanistan with Starlink, so that there's a way for us to maintain communication with our Afghan partners, which tells you that Starlink, if it is beamed to any part of the world, you can communicate over there. You don't need ground stations. Even without ground based stations which amplify the signal, even without these stations, Starlink is accessible. It will give you a certain speed, maybe 1 or 2 Mbps, which is enough. So then, so somebody says, Scott Manley, that they need to find a friendly neighboring country who wants to help the US against Taliban so that they can deploy a downlink station. Elon Musk says our satellites launching in the next few months, 2021 September. Our satellites launching in the next few months have inter-satellite laser links, so no local downlink needed. And active in 4 to 6 months probably. That is way back in 21, so it's already active now. And then somebody else asks him, how does transmitting into a country without local downlink work on the regulatory side? Elon Musk says they can shake their fist at the sky, which means that they can't do a thing. And even if they take regulatory action and request us to stop beaming the signal, they can keep shaking their fist at the sky. We'll not stop it if we don't want to. And at some other time, Elon Musk had said that we will coup whoever we want. We will coup whoever we want. We can do a coup. He's happy to for his country to do a coup in any nation as suits the US. So my point is, this is a very dangerous thing, Starlink, and I hear that the government of India is considering allowing Starlink in India and giving them spectrum. That I think would be a disastrous step for national security, and I would like to urge the government of India to not allow Starlink in India. Okay, don't allow Starlink in India. It will give all kinds of anti-national elements uh, a free hand in communicating with each other. So, what had I said at the time? Yeah, let me put this back on the screen. Okay, not this. I had said this just 2 or 3 days ago. Starlink, if made available in India, will pose a grave threat to national security. It will give separatists, rioters, etc. unfettered internet access, will render the government of India helpless. India should not allow Starlink in. Do you see Elon Musk asking for Starlink in China? And I'm pretty sure he must have asked at some point for Starlink in China, just to put that request on the record, so that they can then tell India, pay nations like India, that you need to allow it in. You are a democracy, China is not. They use all these tactics against us. My point is, Starlink should not be allowed in India. Can we use China as a proxy to fight this war? How on earth do we use China as a proxy? We can't. If Starlink is allowed in India, how is it a threat to China? It is in no way, shape, or form a threat to China. It's a threat only to India, right? So yeah, that is the deal.